Hello, 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 and welcome to a lazy Sunday afternoon of cat grooming at a cat grooming salon. This is Manny. Manny's a little Persian kitty whose owners requested a lion cut full tail. So he's gonna get a lion cut, and then his boots are all really wonky, and he's gonna get a beauty treatment on his boots. Spruce those up, a little bit of groomer scoop, and then the tail, of course, we're going to keep that natural. So, how you doing, buddy? Look at all these whiskers. My God. He's like, what's wrong with the whiskers? Nothing's wrong with the whiskers. Just a very whiskery cat. He's like, so? Does that make me special? Sort of. Not really. You're a cat. Well, anywho. Alright, let's see what's happening with his mane. Since the owner wants to keep that. So, we're going to take that. A few issues with his mane. So we're going to take that. Look for those landmines. Kind of work those out a little bit. Actually, what I should do is just set the mane, right? That way, I'm only dematting the part that is going to stay. It's not necessary to demat any part of the coat that's not planning on sticking around. So let's do this first. And then what's left, we'll demat, right? Now the last time he was here, he was so matted that we couldn't keep any mane, so we had to put him in a tiger head. But it looks like there should be something left for our mane today. So let's get that going. He's like, am I going to be a lion today? Yepper. Because last time I was a tiger. I know. But I always wanted to be a lion. Yeah, we're going to do that today. Alright, so he's got a big thing going on back here. So let's work on that. That's staying. So we just set his mane. What's the perfect combination? This little mat breaker and the lay pooch detangling spray. The dynamic duo combination, right? Get that taken care of. You think that tickles? You know your mommy and daddy are at a Himalayan restaurant eating an all-you-can-eat buffet? That sounds good. He's like, yeah, that sounds really good. He's like, you like curry? I'm like, it's alright. They said there was more than just curry selection, so I'm gonna give it a go. He said, that sounds nice. Alright, let's see what else is in here. Anything at all? Nope, we're good. So let's go back in and clear it. There we go. Alrighty then. Waka 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 waka. You hairy beast. He's like, I am not. You are. You are? Alright, let's turn you around. Waka waka. Okay. We are pretty much there with saving his mane, right? There. that's done. Not quite. Hello. What animal is this? What are you? She doesn't know? No. Oh, okay. A little bit of work to do with this little guy. He's not your straightforward grooming. It's a little bit of repair work. AKA his boots all have to. Oh, cool. This is Manny. Manny's a Persian. Not sure how old Manny. You do know that cats can come in all different shapes and sizes and temperaments. And if you go to a breeder who breeds for good temperament, you're going to end up with a cat like Manny, right? So, a lot of people can't wrap their head around that. Probably because every time they've ever acquired a cat, it's been, you know, handed down to them, or it was off the street, or who knows, right? Manny comes from a breeder who bred for perfect temperament, so. Wow. That is one solid pelt back here. The owners live 40 minutes away, so I guess they're not taking advantage of our free maintenance services where we provide this sort of thing for free, right? Oh, that little clipper is not even doing it. Yeah. Let's try this one. There we go. Better. There. Poor guy. Alright, let's do the tail stop. That means we're gonna put the line in where the tail stops and the rest of the tail is kept natural, right? Alright, so that's done. Alright, here we go. I'll start with a regular 10 blade and see how it does to get through his coat. Wee-hee. Yeah. Waka waka. Good laddie. Good laddie. Wee-hee. He's like, I feel a breeze. Yeah, I bet you do. Oh, so Romeo. Oh, what are you going to use the clippers for? Are you doing a shave, or are you looking to use the comb attachments? There's different clippers for different jobs, right? So, if you're looking to just shave, just get a hold of the one is all. It has a safety blade, so it's very thin, skinny teeth, porcelain driver blade. That's actually my go-to clipper for any kind of pelt removal because it cuts through pelting like butter, right? But it's not going to hold up for daily use in a salon, so the answer would be different depending on whether you're a groomer or just working on your one cat at home, you know? You really can't go wrong with the one is all. It's like 25 bucks. And it's great for any kind of shave jobs, right? Wow. Wow. You go to the link in on my page, themainlion.live. There is a direct link that'll take you straight to where to get the one is all clipper, I think. Yeah. It's listed as a safety clipper. It's on Amazon. I'm in America. How you doing, terrible times? What's going on with you? What area are you in? Australia? Trying to think. Are you the one who's from Australia? I forget. We got people from all around the world here. From the UK, from Hawaii. Oh, Norfolk. I know someone who lives in Norfolk. She's a groomer. She's a mobile groomer. Yeah, so when a cat comes in pelted, there is no other option. Michelle. Is it Michelle? No. Bettina. Oh, it's Michelle Gorman from Ohio, Hawaii. There's an Ohio in Hawaii? Or are you saying Ohio High? Isn't HI the abbreviation for Hawaii? I don't think there's an Ohio in Hawaii, so I guess you're saying hi from Ohio. I'm a little slow, but I think I got it. I think I'm there, Michelle. You're from Ohio. You're saying hi from Ohio is what's happening. Hello. Hello. Alright, so what we're going to do is open up his tail because it's one big closed up flower. Oh, okay. Well, there's matting and then there's pelting. So if it's just matting, the Lay Pooch detangling spray before the bath is a tremendous help, right? That's what I'm using right now. It just, it's an oil-based product, but it creates a path of least resistance for all of these grooming tools to go through the coat much easier than they normally would, which is perfect for cat, you know, because they want things to feel okay or tolerable, right? Yeah. And I have to pull out my power tool so we don't create too much of a fuss. The bigger the tool, the bigger the power tool, the less impact it's going to have on the cat, right? There. Yeah, he's been here before. It's not his first rodeo. We haven't done anything to really bother him too much. Yeah, he's here for it. The highest his stress scores go is like 2 out of 6. So he's already at the desired stress levels that we want all of our clients to be at, which is levels 1, 2. And in his case, it comes naturally to him. Here, say hi. Say hi to your YouTube peeps. He's like, you mean there's people watching? Yeah, bird. Yeah, bird. He's like, I thought this was a private appointment. It is. Sort of. Sort of. Alright, he's got a big ledge back here. Let's break that up. It'll look kind of silly. Alright. There. A little bit better. Alright. That's just a little $10 bed from Petco. You can put a pillowcase on it. And then you get your cat to sink into that. That's a round circle well with a bumper all around. It'll help support him while I get to these tricky bits. And we're going to start the tricky bits with the safety clipper. Alright, ready, steady, here we go. His boots are way too problematic for him to have full boots, so we're gonna bring the length of these boots down a notch. Less boot, less problem, right? You see there's no resistance when you pull up his leg? That indicates where the stress level is for the cat, right? If the cat can't extend their arm out and they're holding it in really tight, that is your litmus test of where that cat's stress levels are. Getting down deep into the undercarriage here where the pelting is really, really thick. Waka waka waka. Wow. I need an overhead so you can see a little bit better. We'll figure it out. Oh, are you leaving? He's like, I was thinking about it. No. No, we're not done. He's like, okay. You have things to do here, people. Have you seen me just like stop working? No, my hands have been constantly moving, buddy. We're getting you done as fast as possible there, buddy. He's like, no problem, lady. Hi, hi, hi. How you doing, Mina? Oh, no. Nope, 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 nope. This is Manny. We're removing all of his pelted area, which is basically his whole body. Now, let's try and stretch that skin out just a little bit. There. All right, are we there yet? We made the boots a little bit smaller. When those boots are really bad, I just shave them off because most cats can't handle the dematting process, right? then they just start from scratch, growing in new boots, right? Waka waka waka. Good laddie. Good laddie. Here, let's try that. Good laddie. There we go. Alright, back boots. Hot mess. Hot mess. Not quite where that needs to be. There. Alrighty then. I'm gonna save these boots one at a time. And then restore them when he gets in the bath. Waka waka. What is all of that? Is that like little nuts? And his little toe feathers. There. Alright, little one. Alright, is that done? Oh no, let's try that comb again. There we go. Good boy. You can do that. Alright, we're going to flip you around like a little pancake. Like a little kitty pancake. There. Good buddy. Get that tail out of the way. Tuck it under that pillow. I'm in America. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hey, Michelle. House Cat Chronicles. That's a cool name. Yeah, he's just a cute little, what I call a magic bubble cat. Just really sweet-natured kitty, right? Born and bred for perfect temperament, which the breeder has everything to do with, right? And he's pelted, so he's getting his pelt taken off of him, right? So what is Household Chronicles? What's that about? Yeah, the cat is getting his hair cut. Basically, if in the vet industry they call it a medical groom, but the groom has nothing to do with it when you bring your cat to a veterinarian facility, because they don't actually wash the cat. A medical groom to them is to just shave off the bad parts, right? So, whereas he's getting his pelt removed, but we're actually putting into an actual haircut style as well. So if you have a pelted cat, you're going to get put into pretty much a line cut, right? It's going to take off most everything. And if your mane is pelted on your cat, then they'll take that off too, which is what he had done the last time he was here. And we put his head into a cute little tiger pattern. And let's get him to pivot just a little bit. Get those tricky bits. Alright, the bed is almost like an alternative to lap grooming for anyone who understands what lap grooming is, right? It's an alternative to that. Not every cat's going to want to be sitting on your lap. It'll actually make it worse for a lot of cats, right? But they're fine with being on the bed, and vice versa. We're almost there, buddy. Sounds like a drone. You sound like a little drone there, buddy. Alright. Just about there. Okay. Waka waka. Alright. 2 more boots and then he's in the bath. Let's try that. Hello. How are you? Oh, cool. How long you been retired for? You ever think about just starting it up again? Or you could, you know, do a little overnight boarding and then just give them baths when they go home, you know, things like that. Nothing like making... 10 years. Oh, okay. Yeah, retired groomers. I know of some who just went into boarding. They do a little bit of grooming, but only for the animals that are staying. And then they give them a little something before they go home, right? I used to do that. I'm a retired dog groomer. Yeah. I knew a hairdresser down the street who would give her chairs up. What animal? Take a guess. Your first clue is the name of the account, right? That's your first clue. But let me know if you need more help and more clues, right? Anyway, there's this hairdresser just down the street. You know how they will rent out different chairs to different hairdressers, barbershops, things like that. So what would happen is a lot of these hairdressers, semi-retired, she would give the seats to them, right? And they would just come in maybe twice a week, do a couple hours, and you know, that was all they needed to keep them going, right? I've heard of some dog groomers who will do tables, like they'll get a place, set up some tables, and then sort of like a co-op, right? But I don't think I could handle that, right? Working with other people. Yeah. Nah, no thank you. Nah. Wow. No. Alright, you see how I waited until this leg was done last? The driver's side, front, right, front, left paw, right? Does anyone know why I saved that for last? You saw how he reacted once I started working on it, right? So, there's a reason this leg is left for last. Does anyone know why? I have a theory as to why. Can't really tell you for sure why, but I have a theory. You need a second clue. Okay. So the name of the account wasn't your first clue? Alright. Alright. So Malaki needs a second clue, people. Yeah, let's do the big reveal for Malaki. There, can you see now? Can you see now there, Malaki? Look familiar to you? Does that look familiar? She thinks I'm a rabbit. Yeah, I know. Oh, right. Well, something about Asperger's, right? Most Asperger's people are left-handed. Well, apparently most cats exhibit the same signs as Asperger's, right? Also, that left paw means to me that they're all left-handed or southpaw by nature, right? So they're going to protect that because it's their number one most protected asset, right? Their left paw is their most valuable asset, right? That's my theory, but I can't be sure if I'm right or not. That's my guess. Anyone else got a guess? That might make some form of sense as to why cats favor their left arm over any other part, over any other leg. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Not my cat. Not my cat. That's Mamie. We're in a cat grooming salon, people. Getting a cat groomed who was pelted. So he just had his pelt removed, right? Take that off. And we're going to start with a little bit of degreaser by Pink Pow Pow. And we're going to restore all of his boots with a product called Groom's Goop, which is going to help lift the yellowing in the white of the coat, as well as help to remove all of that heavy oily buildup. Okay? So we're putting it on nice and warm and heated. I have a little tiny unit there. You see that? It's like a little mini refrigerator. Well, it will cool or warm. It has two settings, right? So if you put it on warming, it heats that Groom's Goop up perfectly. So it just feels nice and comfortable going on. Hello, Alice. Alice. Let me see here. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Just get that nice and soaked in all the way down to the skin. Good boy. And then we have his purple shampoo on standby. Waka waka. And that's going to optically brighten those little paws, right? So we're doing a couple of beauty treatments to restore his coat, what's left of it, right? Waka 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 waka. And this tail, let's see. Do a little bit right on the base there. There we go. Alrighty. Put that back in the warmer. Okay. Now, waka 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 Well, and if I told you the cat was fully pelted and just had his pelt removed, would that change your opinion? It would change your opinion? White angel. For someone who calls themselves white angel, you're very quick to judge. Actually, it's always the love and light people, isn't it? Yeah, even after the explanation, right? Love and light people. Beware of those love and light people. They're not who they claim to be. Because it's always the love and light people, right? Just saying, from my personal observation. Get this water nice and warm. And then while we're waiting for that groomer scoop to work, just gonna do a little something, right? Yeah. Little something. The cat's just sitting here, Candace. How is that upsetting you? I have an idea. Just pretend it's a dog, you'll be fine, right? You just pretend it's a dog, you won't get triggered, right? Pretend he's like a, I don't know, a Pomeranian, right? And you'll be fine. It'll help you cope with your trauma, apparently, that you're dealing with. Because it's so traumatic to watch a cat just sitting there getting his stuff, right? You know, some people should just never venture outside their front door without calling their emotional support person to hold their hand, right? Or jump onto social media. Good boy. Good lady. Exactly. Well, one, thank you. And two, I've done it over I've done this over 1,000 times, so pelt removal. And three, he's born and bred for perfect temperament. He's from a breeder who breeds for good temperament, right? So, you could say he's like a little Stepford cat. Yeah. Little Stepford cat. Little magic bubble cat. They just live in their own little magical world. Nothing really bothers them too much. Yeah. Who said that? Karen, are you a groomer? Are you the one who's the retired groomer? I forgot your name. Alright, let's start with the face wash. Now, if for any reason this cat wasn't at perfect temperament, naturally, and the cat had to come in for a pelt removal, and he exhibited normal signs of how a cat normally is, I would have recommended a pre-treatment of gabapentin to the owner prior to coming in for the pelt removal, which it would make it go just a lot easier for the cat, right? And for myself, right? So, but that's not necessary with a cat like Manny, because he's just a cutie patootie, right? So it's how he was born, right? It's how he was born. Oh, well, this is pretty straightforward stuff, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, you're not even watching me doing any kind of special techniques or handling. This is not necessary. This is just such a sweetheart. Wow. There. Alrighty then. This is the norm, Karen. This is normal. M-O-M-O. Nothing really happening here. Alright. Alright, let's do that. Are you old? He's like, not really. He's about 6. Yeah. A dog? Well, how are you doing the bath? Maybe you need to look into changing the way you do the bath, right? Yeah, well, that's the only way a cat can tell you to stop. That's a clear indication that the cat is saying no and that you're doing it wrong. So that's just the cat's way of letting you know that you're doing it wrong when they start doing that. So the cat will pretty much backseat cat groom you, and they'll let you know. If you want to disregard and dismiss a cat screaming who's trying to tell you with every possible communication that they have, vocally and physically, that you're doing it wrong and to stop, and you want to just dismiss that and say that the cat is being dramatic, go right ahead. But that's just the cat trying to tell you, trying to help you, to let you know you're doing it wrong. So what do you do then? You look for a different technique. You look for a technique that's going to work for that cat, or in your case, a dog. There are some dogs who are naturally fearful of baths, right? Just like there's cats who are naturally fearful of water, but it's very rare, right? It doesn't happen very often, right? Usually the cat's scared of your lack of techniques, and you trying to wash them when you don't know how is what scares them. The amount of cats who are actually scared of water, it's really, really low. You'd be shocked at how low it is, right? Every video that's posted on this account is of a cat getting a bath. You're not going to see them reacting, right? Sometimes. And if you watch the name on the video, it's coded to let you know whether the cat's at natural temperament or whether the cat is being given a pre-treatment by their owner, right? So NT means natural temperament, right? PTG means pre-treatment, right? G stands for the GABA, right? So I had a little 4-pound toy Yorkie who she didn't really take to her baths either until I started changing the way I gave her a bath. And she actually preferred double baths. So if I turned this upside down, turned it around, filled it, and gave her a bubble bath, she loved it. All I did was just change my technique on how I wash my dog, and then she was fine with it and she loved it. And the same thing happened with her nail trimming. She would have a panic attack if you tried to cut her nails. Most Yorkies are like that anyway, right? But if you change the technique, and in her case, I would have to wrap her in a burrito, one of those Berber beds, bumper beds that you see in crates, and I would wrap her in that, turn her upside down. So once she was on her back, I could cut her nails no problem. She wasn't having a panic attack, she wasn't trying to get away, right? And all I did was just change the technique, and then she was fine with it, right? So it's your job to look for the technique that's going to work for your animal, right? And if they say no, It's pretty easy to understand what no means, right? Yeah, you put something with a little towel on the bottom. These back boots aren't really lathering up as well as they should. There we go. Now we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. They were fairly black, right? Fairly. Waka waka waka. Alright, other side. You got this. You got this, little one. Good, buddy. So this isn't just your straightforward grooming. We have to do a little bit of repair work and restoration on parts of this cat's coat. And kind of restore these boots back to bunny rabbit status is what I call it. Nice and clean and fluffy again, right? Waka 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 waka. Hello. Hello. Yes, you're gonna go bye-bye. 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 It was really nice talking to you. Unfortunately, our YouTube doesn't have a translate button, so I can't understand what you're saying. Shocking, isn't it? YouTube doesn't have a translate button. You would think that they would. I don't understand why they don't. Alright, here we go. Wee-hee. Wow. You did it. Wow. Wow. Alright. Wow. There you go. He's like, is that a duck? He's trying to eat the bug. Oh my god. Sorry. I wasn't expecting that. Are you okay? Oh my god. He's like, what? So apparently the magic bubble cat is capable of defending himself from a duck blowing bubbles out of his mouth. I don't know what he was doing. I'm gonna have to replay that and look at that again because I'm not entirely sure what just happened. It might have been just. Did the cat do that out of curiosity, or do you think he actually like snapped and tried to book? Hi. I've never seen that before in my life. So. Waka waka. Waka waka. I know. Why is the cat meowing like that? Anyone want to take a guess? Here's your first clue. Why did the cat start meowing like that? Anyone want to take a guess? And now he's not. Does anyone know what just happened? Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Exactamundo. the finishing shampoo, which is warm, chilled, right? It chilled down. So when it went on, it was cold, right? So that's why we keep the tea kettle, right? To keep everything nice and warm. Alright, you did it. Waka waka waka. You did it, little one. Alright, let's rinse you off. Get you in that little dryer box. Right? Good buddy. Let's see what he does again. The duck. So you think he's under... Is that your mortal enemy? Is that your mortal enemy, or are you just curious? He's like, you got a goddamn duck blowing bubbles. Like, what the hell is that? Oh, Daryl's not anything you need to be concerned about. Daryl's not going to bother you. He's just trying to help you keep me. Alright. You gotta squeeze, 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 right? Went, 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 went. No translate buttons. Sorry. Unless someone understands that language and wants to translate it for me, right? I have no way of knowing. Alright. You did it. You did it. Good, buddy. Good, buddy. Good, buddy. Head up. Good, buddy. You did it. You did it. Good boy. And wrap. Here we go. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. Waka waka. Alright. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is wrap them up in a double towel, right? You know, I know a little bit about the language to understand that you're not a friend of ours. Bye-bye. Alright. Alright, double towel wrap. Double towel wrap. You got this. He's like, what's gonna happen now? Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Alright. Who can guess what I'm about to do right now? Hello, Early. Irina. Alright, who can guess what's about to happen now? Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess? First clue. Why are happy hoodies used in the pet industry? Why are happy hoodies used in the pet industry? Second clue. I'm gonna dry the cat, silly. Okay. Pumpkin porter. Thank you. You can tell when I got close to his head that he wasn't going to tolerate. Sometimes if they tolerate, I'll slip this off and just start blowing out their head and me because they've gotten used to the sound, right? But you could tell he was saying no. So obviously I'm not going to take that off, right? So we did a complete restoration of all his boots using a degreasing treatment first, called Groomer's Goop, followed by some degreasing shampoo. Oven tea with the Chub Spar is a really good combo. And then we added the Pooch Bright Purple Optical Brightening, which is going to optically brighten every color coat, but more so the white or black. You can really see the difference. Pooch Bright is what I use. It's normally 20 to 1. 1 part shampoo to 20 parts water. But I make it a little bit more concentrated. And I'm using a 1 part shampoo, Pooch Bright, to 10 parts water. Okay? Alright, we got someone at the door. So let's put him in the dryer box. And then we're going to let someone in. And I'll put you guys on hold. And I'll be right back. Alright? Alright, that technique is not going to work unless you double towel wrap the cat. If you do just one towel wrap, it's not going to work. You got to double wrap the cat so they feel nice and snug and secure and they aren't trying to leave, right? It's basically a checkmate move. If you checkmate a cat and they know they can't go anywhere, they don't even try. If they see an opening, they're going to try. So how do you checkmate a cat? Double towel wrap. And they're just like, well, there's no sense in me trying to leave because I can't go anywhere, so they don't even bother. That's a checkmate technique. But it could also be, there could also be other things happening with other cats, right? In the fact that they just feel nice and snug and secure, right? But you could put that into the checkmate technique category. You don't see a whole lot of people talk about that technique, but I've seen it. It just basically means the cat's smart enough to know they can't go anywhere, so they don't even bother to try. Alright, I'm going to put you on hold. There's someone at the door. I'll be right back. You do realize I can hear everything you're saying even when I'm on pause, right, people? No, that's a stupid human air drying box, right? It was specifically designed to work around stupid humans. So there's no way that you could possibly hurt the cat with that, right? It's stupid human proof, right? As one would think a manufacturer would have to do, considering it's a box for drying cats, right? So, anyway. Sorry, I'll bring you guys over here so you can see what's happening. We're just getting the cat carrier ready. There we go. That was a pelt removal cat who needed all of his boots restored. So part of restoring the boots on a cat after you wash them is to blow them out with a velocity dryer, right? And then we have one last step, which is to run a face comb through the boots, and then they'll be fully restored, right? That's the Feline. Does anyone know how the science works behind Feline, the pheromone? I can break it down to you and make it easy. But does anyone have an idea of what that's for? Here's a hint. It's a form of communication. Highest form of intelligence for animals is scent, right? In case you didn't know that. Do you know what it's communicating? How's that? It's a form of communication. What is it communicating? Anyone want to take a gander? Do 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 do. Do 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 well, that is the effect of it. That's the effect of it. What it's doing is it's communicating a scent that communicates that the area is safe. It's a form of communication done through pheromones in cats, and it's a scientific man-made copy of the safe pheromone that cats give off. And they'll go up and they'll rub something with their cheek or their chin, right? They're communicating that that area is safe, right? So that's what it's for. That's why every cat who comes to our salon is getting 15 minutes of downtime with Feline first to communicate they're in a safe place, right? Also, yeah, it's already been scientifically proven. I just never took it seriously until like about a year and a half ago. I said there's got to be something to this, and so I started investigating. Yeah. That 15 minutes of downtime with the Feline made all the difference for a lot of my cat clients on how the grooming started, right? Game changer. It's a game changer, right? And then a little bit of music in that corner back there along with the Feline, right? A little bit. So it's a little bit of layering of a couple of different things sprinkled. Music, Feline. Let's do the back boots. a little soft sticker. It's $5. It's for sensitive areas. $5 on Pelted or Groomer's Mart. Wacko wacko. Here. He's about ready to let me have it. Get back in here. You never do these problem areas all at once. So I did a little bit before the bath, a little bit during the bath, and now we're going to do a little bit after the bath. Otherwise, it's just way too much for the cat, right? So I kind of break it up. If they were really bad, I'd be shaving those back boots off, right? The back boots seem to get worse than the front boots for a lot of my cat clients. Yeah, they're expensive. They take a lot of time to do. You're paying for the time it takes to do the animal, right? I could never quite understand that when it comes to cat grooming. That they would charge almost $200 for a line cut in some places, right? I could never understand that because a line cut is the easiest thing to do, right? On an animal. It takes the least amount of time. Most cat groomers can get a cat in a line cut in about 15 minutes. So why are you charging $200, right? Because you've got less product to use, less drying, less of everything, right? The quickest service request that you could possibly provide for a cat, yet you're doubling the price of it. Why? Right? So that kind of logic is not going to be happening in every grooming salon, right? But when it comes to charging prices for doodles, yeah, you're paying for the time that it takes to get that doodle done, right? There's a lot to do. There's one groomer, I don't really know my YouTube crowd very well. I refer to as my feral community, but there is another app where I go live, and I do know of a live dog groomer who does a lot of doodles. She goes live and shows the process. So if you wanted to ever see the process of what it takes to 5 hours. Well, that may not necessarily mean the groom time. The dog was there for 5 hours, but that doesn't mean the groom time was 5 hours, right? Unless it's a private grooming appointment. That would be $40 times 5, so that's like $40 an hour. Yeah. $40 an hour is actually really cheap, right? Okay. Ready, steady, here we go. Keep that dryer off because I don't think we need it anymore. Oh, the name of that groomer who goes live on TikTok with the doodles, her account is called Black Cat Grooming. She's from Oklahoma. Little redhead. If you little tiny, like a little fairy. She looks like a little fairy. Right? Little fair-headed. Well, the standard of difficulty to groom a doodle is fairly high, so just saying. But it is possible to do. Usually, you're not going to get like that polished look if you're not familiar with how to prep the coat, right? But it doesn't take too long to figure it out. If you follow along and watch some groomers, right? They literally are giving you a bird's eye view of all of their grooming secrets, and they're freely sharing it, right? Do you know, as a groomer, if you're trying to advance in your grooming skills, oh, that's sad. That's really sad. There's so many crossbreeds of the doodles, right? And not every breeder knows what they're doing, right? What was I trying to say? Oh, when you're a groomer and you're trying to further your education in grooming, for you to pay another groomer to sit in their salon and watch them like a day in the life at a grooming salon, you're paying literally hundreds of dollars, right? To learn what these groomers are freely sharing online, right? But back in the day, that's what you would do. You would pay to go be at another grooming salon, do a day in the life, get like some private training. In some cases, you're just there to observe or to apprentice, right? You're not there to get paid or anything. You're actually paying. Like, that's what I had to do. For me to spend a day at a top dog grooming salon, she was one of the top groomers, judges, breeders in the industry. For me to spend a day there, and I would bring I think I brought a standard poodle one time, and then I brought a schnauzer, I think. And I would have to pay her, right? I would go to her salon and I would be grooming the dog under her tutelage. She'd still be grooming. She would still be grooming, but she'd keep an eye on what you were doing, and she would input whenever she needed to, right? So it wasn't, and she had like a salon filled with other groomers and bathers and things like that. So it was a madhouse, right? But yeah, I think that was $100, which is really nothing. $100 is nothing in the scheme of things. That was actually quite cheap. You pay a lot more than that in some places. Great idea. I lost you there. Sorry, I got lost in the conversation. Somebody, where are we? I'm not following. Okay. Now, waka waka waka. Let's see what we got here. Waka waka, you're just so cute. He's like, I know. Muhabbet, there's no translation button here, buddy, so I have no way of knowing what you're saying. And I kind of have my hands full, so I can't exactly go and Google it, right? Hello. I can't even recognize the language. All right, let's see. Good, how you doing? We're just finishing up on Manny. He just had his pelt removal. Ah, okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't quite recognize the language there. Not shabby. Not too shabby. Are you critiquing my work? Yeah, this was a pelt removal, right? So you can see where all the marks are from the pelting, right? Any eagle eye would have spotted that, right? So, but thank you. Yeah. It's got a big shelf on the back of his head. We're just trying to taper that down just a little bit. There we go. See how it's like winging out? There's like a wing. See how it wings out like that? I am not following this conversation. What? Oh. Oh, okay. Salon? No. I'm not following it. I am not following this. Sorry. Sorry. Let's try and take care of those wings. You got it. He's like, really? Yeah. Whee! His mane gets all matted, so they want it all thinned out, tapered back, right? There. Once you cut into a cat's coat, yeah. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. Oh, cool. From New York. New York. New York. So I'm 3 hours from you. Did you say New York? Who said they were from NYC? Deborah. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. About 3 hours from you. We're practically neighbors. So you probably have the same weather going on over there as we do over here. We got a gray forecasted day, sunny day here. It's all gray and forecasted. Almost like how a sky looks right before snow. But don't think we have snow on our weather forecast. It just looks like it, right? New York, New York, if I could make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. Singing or if it was the dryer. He's like, it was the dryer. Your singing's alright. It's okay. Alright, thank you. Alright, see those boats? Fluff and the boats, right? And we did that quite painlessly and without any fuss or muss, right? There. Say bye-bye. Say see ya. See ya. Alright, up next. Velvet Tiger. Velvet Tiger, tapered tail. The owner is working with the new, it's not new, it's been around for 6 years. The owner is working with a pre-treatment for her level 3 cat. The all-natural calming cat oil, right? At the therapeutic dose. So it's her first time using the calming cat CBD oil. which, you know, not everyone knows that is even on the market. 6 years now. And vets aren't helping because they refuse to talk about it. Not because there's anything wrong with the product or the quality of the product. Actually, it's just the opposite. The product is so good that I think they're afraid is what's happening. Yeah, they're afraid of how many things that product is going to replace, right? When it comes to pharmaceutical prescriptions, right? Oh yeah, we're on it. We're doing the research. We only just discovered a week ago why the vets are not talking about it, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the product. They're afraid. So, if you don't understand, I'll probably explain that in some other video. I'm not going to get into it now. Anyway, thanks so much for joining. We'll be back in a little bit. We're going live all day in the life of a cat grooming salon. And then right around 5 o'clock, oh, well, we'll put the heater back on then. There you go. It's got a bit of a chill. So, I should put a little, should I put a little t-shirt on you? He's like, yeah. All right. You want to learn how to make some baby clothes for a cat? When you take a pelt off of a cat, that pelt traps a lot of heat into the cats, right? And when you take that pelt off, you remove a lot of that trapped heat that the cat is used to. So thanks for reminding me. If you're gonna take that pelt off, you should here, you want to go in there? That's their safe place. And it's nice and warm. Let's put that back on. There. Alright. I'm going to show you how to make some baby clothes for a cat. You start with some baby onesies. Get the 0 to 3 months. If you can get smaller, get smaller. Depends on the girth of your cat. But you want it to fit on your cat like a bathing suit. So nice and snug. Don't worry, it's very stretchy. It stretches to 10 times its size. You don't want it to be loose hanging off your cat, right? Start with the crimping scissors, a little, whatever that is. That's a baby snap punch gun. And these are the baby snaps. Alright? Alright, let's start with this one. You see alright? You start with cutting off this part. And you need to close these flaps. If you don't close these flaps, it's not going to stay on your cat, right? So what I usually do is baby snap them shut, right? Permanently. So I'm just doing one set. Using these baby snaps for their intended purpose, which is to snap and unsnap things, right? We're just going to cinch it close permanently. And then this clothes holds up. You throw them in the laundry. They last for quite a while, right? Right, other side. Once you get the hang of it, you can probably make one a minute. Like you could make an entire wardrobe for your cat within an hour, just an hour of your time. You can make a complete wardrobe for your cat. Now, there you go. is skin and bones, you probably want to do a double layer. So you can fit one baby top right over the other, right? There. There we go. So, all done. We'll just do one layer for him. There. Put that away. Alright, love. Good boy. Alright. Like I said before, when you take a pelt off of a cat, it keeps a lot of that heat trapped. That's why when you take a pelt off for the first time and you touch the body of the cat, they're running really hot. It's not from the heat of the clipper, right? The body runs very, very hot. And when you take that pelt off, they get a chill, right? So, do that. And if your cat is skin and bones, just make a double layer. You can fit these one on top of another, right? And then usually size these baby clothes like a bathing suit, so it's not loose, and it kind of fits them nice and snug. This is the 0 to 3 months size, but as you can see, it's still a little loose, so probably the best size for this kitty would be like a preemie. They make smaller sizes than the 0 to 3 month size for babies. This is a magic bubble cat. Are you asking a question, Michael, or are you making a statement? Because, you know, we've already answered that question and went live with this cat and explained that he comes from a breeder who breeds for natural temperament, perfect temperament. If he was, oh my. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. We're gonna go now, right? We've got a new school of piranhas swimming in. Yeah, so we're gonna go. And thank you for joining us. And that's gonna help keep him a little bit, keep the cat a little bit warm. So if you take a pelt off your cat, yeah, one of the best ways to help insulate your cat afterwards, just make a couple of tops out of baby onesies, right? Yeah. All right, take care. Bye-bye.